TEG speech. My admonition in those situations, I just tell the guys let's not embarrass ourselves. That goes over well with the Skeeters. I don't think that would go over quite so well with this team.
Ready, Tommy G?
You ready? Ready,
Yeah,
Tommy
I'm
Lip?
ready.
All right. We'll let, I think we're starting a little early. We'll let maybe a few more people join the chat before we spool this all up. Very different sky today. A deep blue. Not a cloud in it. If I refer to it as a high sky, Nate Stark is going to make fun of me. I have now retired the phrase high sky from the streaming lexicon. But it is a high sky. We're at the Goodyear complex, which will mean nothing to most people. Doesn't mean much more to us. A little bit longer drive, that's all. One of the side fields. So let's get started. I'm going to hide the chat here. Cork, I am on Casey's phone, but I don't have my phone in my pocket. Hopefully there's no issues today. So far, so good. So here we go. Good angle here. I don't think many people actually watch the audio or the video of this, so try to get as well framed a picture as I can that it may not matter. It's batsman to start the game off. So we're playing the Yancey Bandits. There's been some discussion in our house about how to pronounce this team's name. It's been anything from Yancey to Yahtzee to Bointsey, Beyonce. A lot of permutations on their first name. Their last name are the Bandits, so I will be referring to them as the Bandits in this stream. Played them once already. We come into this final game of the round robin portions 3-2. We've already secured a playoff berth. Pretty sure this team has as well. In fact, we think 5-team tournament, top 4 make it. We think the 4 teams are set. That despite the fact that this may be the team that needs to play. No, I think it's Tulsa. I think there's a team that has to play 3 games today because of a rain out. So every other team but us has a doubleheader or more today, which is obviously an advantage for us. It'd be a bigger advantage if these games meant something, but we're reasonably confident that these games really don't mean anything for playoff purposes. It's just playoff seeding. And because the 4 teams that we believe are going to make the playoffs are very evenly matched in terms of talent, I'm not sure it really matters whether you're seeded 1, 2, 3, or 4. So one result of that is we have Mark Hoyland on the mound. Mark played for a long time in the TCMBL Giants, 18 plus. If you're one of the gray beards and you were around in the mid to late 90s, early 2000s, you might recognize Mark. Teammate of Billy Houseman's on the Giants. He hasn't played in a while. Came down here with Billy, scratched the itch again. Got a couple innings, I think 1 inning in our playoff loss to Lakeville. Obviously there's some rust Mark needs to shake off. I do think his stuff looks good. For someone who I don't think has pitched much, I should really find this out. We saw him hit the first batter. Some control issues he may have to work through here in the early going. Go around the horn here in a second. Top of the first, man on second. believe nobody out. It's ball 4. Behind the plate, we got Pat Hamlin. Mike Lippert taking the day off, getting ready for the playoffs, which start tomorrow. We got Dan Smolik at third, Mike Dahl at short, Casey Johnson, customary position at second base, Nate Stark, the sheriff, at first base, chatting amicably with the Yancey first baseman. Out right field, we got Brian Bushman. Center field, it's Billy. Left field, Diamond Dan. So defensively, I would say this is our playoff defense. I think we're going to put Dan Smolik at third base when Gurley's pitching. Nate Jackson, runners going to third. Pat had no throw down to third because the batter who was eclipsing the sun was between him and the third base bag. So a very large man in the box right now. First and third, nobody out. Dan may be playing some defense at third base in the playoffs, so the brain trust, Nate Stark and Matt Grail. Here's a pass ball. Run's going to score. That's close, but the run's still going to score. I can see Mark. I think this may be the end for Mark. Mark pulled a hamstring running to first base after hitting yesterday. You can see limping. I'm not sure how easy it's going to be for him to push off. I don't know which leg it is, but it seems whether it's his plant or his push off. Pitching with a bad hamstring when you haven't pitched in what may have been years is not a recipe for comfort, much less success. We'll see how this goes. Good fastball for a strike. So Dan Smolik getting some action at third base. Nate Stark mentioned it to him in the car, and I would say Dan responded with lukewarm enthusiasm. I'd say the temperature of the response was the temperature of our hot tub this trip, which has been bathwater warm. There's a foul ball to the right side. We solved the hot tub issue last night. We'll get into that later. Top of the first. Mammoth down 1-0 in a game that doesn't mean much. There's a shot to left center. That's going to get down. Billy cut it off. Runner trotting home. Nice easy pace. Like he was pushing a stroller. Did not seem in a hurry to get home.
Hey, good play, Bill.
Speaking of strollers, Pat Hamlin behind the plate. That's basically a grown infant. Now he has an infant. There's a pop-up. This should be an out. Here's Dan Smolik's first chance.
Guys.
Ooh, he caught the ball. Number 1. Looks like he grew some roots. Standing there like a desert flower. I guess there was a man on first. I'm rather embarrassed to admit I'm not exactly sure what the infield fly issues. Infield fly was there. Actually, I think had Cork been playing third base, he would have almost certainly dropped that ball. Since that first baseman wasn't running on the Skeeters, what Cork will do is he and Casey are in the infield. And a ball like that, one or the other will tell the other whether the batter's running, and if he's not, he'll drop the ball. Some umpires let that fly. Sometimes they don't. 1 out, man on first. Bandits up. I believe 2-0. Boy, that's a big swing. Here's a man who's decided if this game doesn't matter, I'm going to try to blow the baseball up. This is a team that has a mixture of uniforms. Suggests maybe an all-star team. There's a ball that gets by Casey. Kind of a sloppy start for the Mammoth. Be interesting to see if we have any viewers left by the time this is over. Top of the first, Mammoth down, I believe 2-0. I think the plan offensively is to give some of the, I don't want to call them the backups, but the guys who have not been in the starting lineup a chance to bat today. So you may see some players you haven't seen as much of, including me. So this will have to be some kind of tag team operation on the stream. I think that worked out well yesterday. We had Tommy Lippert doing some commentary. Casey Johnson, I'm sure, did a very good job. He's listened to enough of these. Runner on first, man. First and third, rather. Mammoth down 2-0, top of the first. Checking the runner at first. We played this team second game. We had lost to Lakeville the first game, 13 innings, 2-1. Runner on third, not breaking home.
Nice throw, Pat.
Again, that is the Colossus, the very large man. Probably didn't want the calorie expenditure. We played this team game 2, shut us down for 5 innings. Then we put 7 on the board. We were down 5-0 at the time. Put on 7. It's kind of back and forth after that, but eventually we beat them with some room to spare. My impression at the time of this team was it was going to be hard for them to make a run because they don't have a lot of guys. And it's hard to string together enough starting pitching with a roster of 10 or 11 or 12. I'm not sure how many they have. But they can hit. My impression from what I've seen is that these guys may be the best hitters in the tournament, possibly excepting us. It's a little hard to tell after one game, but this team did beat Lakeville yesterday 5-0. Now that game was shortened because of weather. Andre stopped by our house last night, John and James. A couple of Lakeville players, former Lumberjacks. We had a nice chat. So I'd like to say whether we might see these guys tomorrow in the first game or the second game, but at this point, where we end up from a seeding perspective is anybody's guess. I think it's going to be hard for us and maybe impossible for us to get the 1 seed, but again, it doesn't matter, given that these 4 teams are pretty evenly matched. I would say we'll see what their pitching looks like today, but I suspect these guys are the most pitching poor. Ground ball to Casey. Big hop. Smothers it. Runner scores. I think that's 3. Bushy, is that, what do we got, 3 runs? 3-0. So even if we don't see much of an arm today, it's very possible that they have, they got a Grilly and a Stark. They got 2 guys who they hope can pitch semis in the finals, and they may be protecting those arms. So I think early on, I personally would have preferred the 1 seed, so could have gotten either these guys or the Dodgers. That's what I looked at the time, and then we wouldn't have had to go through both Tulsa and Lakeville. But at this point, I don't know that we want these guys. So returning to where we started, I don't think it really matters, at least from our perspective, the outcome of this game or the outcome of the seeding. But we're still going to have fun. 6 games into this stream. I trust that people who are listening know what they're going to get. So I'm going to give you the full Monty. This fellow's sporting a bandana. It's a good look. A red bandana. A little splash of color to the gray top. It's a shot down the third baseline. Dan Fields throws. That's a big throw for Dan. Dan has confidence in his glove over there, but he said that that throw gets in his head sometimes. So I think what I'll be looking for from Dan today is that throw. He's very careful with it, which isn't always a good sign. Looked a little tight, but he got it there on the letters, so that's a good sign. I got to find out when I'm batting. I think I'm batting.
Long way. Yeah.
Attaboy, Pat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Run it to him. Tommy.
I'll do some fun time with Pat later on.
Handful of years. Yeah. A bunch of our guys are.
Saza, Lippert, Stark, Johnson, Jackson, Siebert, Smollett, Hausman, Gemmer, Dahl. Okay, we got a good lineup.
Tell the story about how you never did these. Is that guy out here?
The lefty is in town.
Gotcha,
I guess
okay.
I mean.
Because that guy was kind of a beast. He actually shredded us a pump.
It's like the Brain Trust opted for
Caesar salad.
a pretty traditional lineup. I managed to slip in there, but other than that, it's pretty much what we've seen. Pretty much what we've seen from the Mammoth in terms of the hitters, in terms of the starters. So I guess these guys have opted for some combination of keeping these regulars sharp and also winning this game. And
We have two subs.
it's also possible that he'll give these guys one at bat and then he'll start cycling in some of the guys who haven't seen quite as much action, but we'll see. The good news for the stream is you're going to get an eye full of Diamond Dan Casaza.
Probably like this. So I took an angle, which is always smart to do here anyway, because it skips and goes.
Dan has been the Mammoth's best hitter, I would say, in this tournament.
And I'm like here, I had to like stop. And it kind of died.
Barreling everything. See what we can see from this pitcher. A righty. We'll call that a garden variety fastball.
Seen over there is other that ball went out, I can see. So yeah, it's fun.
Brilliantly sunny day today. That's a pop-up.
Run it. Run.
Second baseman calls it, catches one out.
Sometimes it's better if you can fight this on it.
Umpire expressing concern for the little guy. Presumably that's Tommy Lippert and not Pat Hanlon. I hope it was Pat Hanlon. One out, bottom of the first, Mammoth down 3-0. Pretty slow curveball. Pitcher giving his arm a little shake. 3 or 4 pitches in. Wonder how many innings this man has seen. They've got every position covered in the field, so they're good there. And it looks like they've got maybe 3 guys on the bench. I think a couple guys just showed up. So this team had a couple of players ejected. If you were watching the streams, you may have saw at the end of the game. They very unhappy with the umpire. So after the game, but before the handshakes, a couple of them expressed their strongly worded discontent. A letter might have been a better idea because it might have spared them the ejection. But they decided to deliver their grievances in person. What we're not sure about is whether those ejections, I think there were 2 of them, led to 1-game suspensions like they would back home, or whether it was just quietly forgotten. But we didn't pursue it in any way. We weren't going to play them the next game anyway, and just let it go. There's no chirping to speak of between these 2 teams the first time around. Diamond Dan in first. Mammoth down 3-0, bottom of the first inning. Game 6, last game of the round robin. We'll be playing at least one playoff game tomorrow. The time is to be determined. Actually, we'll be playing at most one game tomorrow. I believe semis are tomorrow, and then if we make the finals, I believe that time is set for 9 a.m. on Sunday.
Here you go, Nate.
A lot of us, if we make it that far, will, if we win the game, head out to the airport shortly after that. Nate Stark, man on second, one out. Very late with that swing. Nate was talking a little bit in the hot tub last night about it feels like he's under everything. What he wants is a good soak in a batting cage rather than a hot tub. It's hard to get that down here. I think he took some cuts, but there's a pop-up. Definitely got under that one. Tough sun. Nice play by the third baseman. I think I asked Nate how he's dealing with managing. Nate manages or I think at least co-manages the Irish and TCMABL. I know he's involved in Northeast 9 management, so he understands what it means to manage. I can tell you what it means to manage is you have to put your own game in the back burner and take care of all of these niggling details. So he's used to it, but it's a ground ball. Nice play by the shortstop. Easy throw to first. Pretty good inning for the Bandits. Going to the top of the second, Bandits leading 3-0. I think both Grilli and Stark are finding that, well, I know that they're finding that the administrative side of this is a handful. It's not necessarily more than they expected, but it's not less than they expected either. The other thing I know they're struggling with a little bit is, Nate told this to me at one point, it's the hardest thing, I think, especially when you come down to a tournament like this where you're traveling a long way and people are spending a lot of money. It's so hard to tell guys who plays and who doesn't. This game, I think, came as something of a relief because it should allow guys to get people in. That was good, Woodcase.
Yeah, can't hit it to that guy.
No.
Just right up the guts, 85 miles an hour.
85 exit velo on that one? I feel like you barreled it.
Into center, but
Yeah.
then I'm like, oh, that guy.
Yeah. This is a thin but talented roster. I think that's how I would describe it. Really coming over? Yeah, I know. I'm betting. Yeah, thank you.
Talk to you.
Yeah.
We'll get on base 2 out of 3 times again. You don't have to pick me. I'll thank you.
Yeah. No, I think I can handle this pitcher, so.
Hey, how are you?
Already enjoying yourself?
I got you.
I can close it. Yeah.
Okay.
Give the fans what they want.
Yep. Okay, we move to the top of the second. Bandits 3, Mammoth nothing. They have someone warming up on the third base side.
It was. Yeah.
Can't see the batter. But anybody really cares.
Oh no.
So we got this VRBO with a hot tub. Hot tub's a big deal for both Casey and Nate. To a lesser degree, I'd say for Dan and I, because we like to fish. And there's a place to fish where we stay. Waited on that curveball. It's gonna drop, base hit, left center, right between swift-footed Achilles, Diamond Dan Casaza, and Billy Baseball. Nice piece of hitting. Kept the hands back on that. It's been a curveball. Anyway, we've got this hot tub, and it's been anything but hot. When we came, it was about 96. And it's just slowly growing cooler. VRBO people don't seem that concerned. Runner's going. That was a little frustrated after first offensive inning. That ball trickled by him. I know this is a bad angle. I get a lot of people behind me, but no, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think that many people actually watch this side view. Pat did a good job saving that ball. Pat hasn't caught Mark before. That's probably part of this adjustment there. But the hot tub hasn't been working.
Don't leave anything in your car.
It's a high chopper to second. Dolly catches it. I think he almost lost that in the sun. Nice scoop by Nate Stark at first base.
We're doing that hop, Dolly. Oh, boy.
Dolly caught that on the right hop, but I think the left side of the infield is dealing with a pretty nasty sun. But our neighbor, our VRBO neighbor, came out and saw us sitting out there, and we started talking with him. Turns out he's from Minnesota. Long story short, he let us use his hot tub last night, which was incredible to us. But there are good people, and we met one of them last night. There's a diving attempt by Pat Hamlin. He could have put that on a campaign commercial. Something about effort, determined. I mean, it could have been slow motion, but he came up just short, so you probably won't be seeing that. Mark Hoyland, former TC Mabeel Giant, sets, throws, broken bat. It's a foul ball, but he calls it fair. Smart decision by Dan to the extent that he decided to field it before it went foul, because this base runner is something of a mess. Has the look of a man who cuts his own hair. I'm not saying that with a Flowbee either. Maybe a hand mirror and a pair of third grader scissors. Did not get down the line very quickly, but he broke his bat. Creates a sinking sensation anytime you break a bat. Got the ball in his kitchen. I would wager that last batter does not work at a haberdashery either. High fly ball to, yeah. That one ate Billy up in center field. So, this guy's wheeling around first, heading for second, gets in there. It's a high fly ball to right center. Billy wasn't in a full sprint. I think he thought he had it tracked, but he was a victim of the elevated sky. I think he just had a hard time judging that. I respect people who don't visit haberdasheries. I've never been to a haberdashery. Here's our man. And not to second base. I'm trying to think who's visited a haberdashery on the Mammoth. Billy Houseman, I think. I would guess Diamond Dan Casaza when he wants to get dressed up. I believe Diamond Dan just got married. Diamond Dan probably cleans up nicely. He looks like the kind of guy who would coordinate his outfits. Had a conversation about shoes last night. Who won the most pair of shoes in the house? There's a line drive to left. Look at this big man wheeling around third. He falls. Comes up laughing. Being congratulated for stopping so quickly. We'll be hearing about that. The conversation last night was one of the conversations we had was about who had the most shoes. We found out that Nate Stark has a shoe for every activity. Like, he actually has tennis shoes for tennis. I asked him, what's the difference between tennis shoes and tennis shoes, right? I mean, I have a pair of tennis shoes. Nate gave me some kind of garbled response, and then we moved on. But Nate also does some hiking. I think he's got hiking shoes, volleyball shoes again. Who knew there was such a thing? Dan Smolik and I each have one pair of sneakers. Dan's got a pair of work boots. Casey was something in the middle. I think he mix and match with his outfits. We speculated that the former child prodigy, Bob Gordon, former punt, pass, and kick champion as a 12-year-old, probably has quite a few shoes in his collection. And of course, Rob Jones. Checking the runner at first. We've got a score of 3-0. We're in the top of the second, 1st and 3rd. Bandits at the plate. In a game that doesn't mean too much for either team, but it beats sitting in front of a computer, pounding out code. Mark, pitcher, seems to have settled in. Mentioned he had a hamstring issue yesterday. Doesn't seem to be affecting his delivery or his velocity too much. Mark's got a decent fastball. I stood in a little bit when he was warming up, working on a couple of pitches with Pat. High. Batter holds off. I think the Grays have a big game today, San Antonio, and I think they may be playing right now. So if you're looking for a game that has there's a ground ball left side, Dolly scoops, flips, that's 3 outs. I think that game does have some playoff ramifications for them. So if you're looking for maybe a more competitive contest, that might be the game for you. As always, Diamond Dan has his stream going behind home plate, so you have the option to listen to this and enjoy the music of baseball rather than the Fargo accent of me. Let's head over here. Here we go, Jax. Stay hot.
That's it, boys. Let's go. Here we go.
Starting pitcher yesterday went 9 innings, shutout. I think it might be the first. Can't be the first shutout I've been involved with down here. I'm sure Grilly shut people out. I don't think the Lumberjacks had too many shutouts. So really good performance.
I need to throw again.
What's the order we got here? Nate, Scott, Dan Smolik, Houseman, me. So I'm up 5th. Case, can I hand this off at some point? Unless you want it now, I can hold on to it for a batter or two and then come back.
You want to give it up?
Thank you. Slightly pensive. I would describe your look as pensive.
Yes, yeah. Not
Pondering the life
playing
choices
quite
that
as
brought
sharp
you
as I was
here.
hoping I'd be playing right now.
Well, I mean, you're catching Mark for the first time, and Mark
Yeah.
is pitching. He has not been pitching a lot, I think, so it's going to take a little time.
Yeah.
You were never my hero, but I still admire you. So, for whatever that's worth.
All right, Tom, I'll take it.
Nate Jackson, okay.
Ready?
Yes. There you go. Thanks, Case.
Yep. I will give Tom G a little break so he can spend some time prepping for his at-bat. Nate Jackson up. I think Nate will get a hit here. Nate's been a good hitter this tournament, and this pitcher isn't anybody's ace. Nate says he's got a bruise on his leg after taking one while pitching yesterday. Liner back up the middle, hit him in the thigh. He says it looks like the Target logo, except it's purple. Ooh, I don't know what that cut was.
What was happening?
See if I can get a cooler view here. Little curveball. It's probably good for me to see some of this from back here. And Nate works a leadoff walk. I think we should get some runs off these guys. Now the question is are we up enough? The game really doesn't mean a whole lot, so there's some degree of lethargy. I don't know how to say that in present tense. Okay, that pitch is up. It's kind of a cool field that we're at. It's at the airport, basically, and it's got all these, it's like a graveyard for airplanes. Sievert pops it up first base side. The first baseman does not have a good read on that, and it lands foul. Sorry, that was pretty blurry. I mean, the least I could do is provide solid videography if I can't provide Tom G commentary. My vocabulary isn't there. My insights on all the guys on the team isn't there. I probably know less about baseball than Tom. So I'll just work on a nice clean picture here. Scott Sievert. I think Scott's parents live down here, so they've been able to come to a lot of the games and support us. It's kind of nice. We've also got Mike Lippert's dad down here. Some of Mike Dahl's family showed up today. Who else do we have? Pat Ralston brings down his wife and kids. Pat Hanlon has his wife and mother-in-law and baby down here. Dan Casaza's parents are here. All right, so the first two reach. Yeah. Tom's asking me if he can wear my helmet. Of course he can. Dan, keep that front shoulder in and drive something hard, okay? It's gonna be there for you. Nothing Dan hasn't seen or hit hard. This is the type of pitcher he should feast on. I don't know, like, again, I know that this team played just before us, and out on the base paths, one of the guys mentioned, they're just kind of putting people out there as we all kind of play this out. This is the last game of pool play for us. And so we're not going to be throwing our ace pitchers. And neither are they. So it's almost like a glorified batting practice today. Fielding practice, all that stuff. My hope, though, is that we can put some sort of intensity into this game and actually, make it a game. Mammoth aren't a team that's ever just given away a game. So even if we do get down 7-0 or something, maybe we'll make a run here and tie it up. Right now, I think the score's 3-0, something like that. And Billy lost a ball in the sun last inning, and they scored 1 that inning, but they had scored 2 before that, I believe. Randy, I think it's the bottom of 3. Or 2. I don't know. How can I be so bad at remembering things like that? I don't know. I'm here. I'm playing. Maybe that speaks to the intensity that I'm talking about. So we got the first 3 batters here in the bottom of whatever inning it is to reach, and Bill Hausman coming up to bat. Bill's had a few hits this tournament, and they will have to make a pitching change here if they're the second visit, so it would be nice to see Bill drive something. He drives balls to right field really well when he's on, and if we get that here, then with Smolik on first, I would imagine that at least Jax on third and Sievert on second would score, but smallest guy could speed. He's got long strides, long legs. This guy, I feel like we saw this guy in the game that we played them a couple nights ago. Fastball, curveball, if I remember right. But isn't that what everybody has? I'm a little bothered by the 9 different uniforms that they're wearing. I mean, can they not just all get the same shirt, you know? Are you not a baseball team? All right, so Billy Baseball's up to bat. He's got batting gloves on and batting gloves in his back pocket. He's probably got some other accessories that he has multiples of. Bill's an accessories guy. He's wearing his 7th different pair of cleats so far this tournament. I know he's had several different bats. Ooh, and that one sounds like it's broken. And it'll be a double play. Run scores, but not exactly what we were hoping for there. Maybe we'll retire that bat into the fire pit. Maybe try the other batting gloves in the back pocket instead of the ones that he had on. Maybe we'll see a different pair of cleats in this next at bat. All right, Tom G here. He's had a good tournament. He's using my bat. He, as I like to mention when Tom's at bat, he continues to wear the baseball cap under his helmet. Leave it out. Leave it out. Not you, bud. So it's interesting. These outside pitches might be how I would approach Tom too. I think he's good at turning on the inside pitch. I'm sure they're looking at the forearms and they know it's probably better to just stay away from him. Ooh, big hop. And a tough throw, so Tom G drives in a run. The hop made it really hard for that third baseman to do anything. And he was lucky, actually, to get his glove on that thing. He took a last-second hop up. That kind of shot almost over his shoulder. It was very much a goalie save at that point. And Mike Dahl, bottom of the order today. He's had a great tournament.
Let it come in. Let's go.
So Tom G's on first base. We've got 2 runs in this inning. The double play was our only out so far. I don't know. Doesn't that seem out? The catcher was reaching for it, and Dolly kind of held it there. I mean, he didn't seem mad about it. We've had some umpiring, though, this tournament that we're probably just used to it. Interesting little floater, like a floating curve that Dolly just got a piece of. And that pitcher really seemed to think that would have been fun to get. Must be like his little own specialty pitch. I wonder if we see it again. Count as 1-2. Oh my gosh, that one was right there. I think it's inside, so they kind of set him up for that. He was outside, and then that probably looked a lot more inside than it was. But caught looking. So good inning here. 3-2, I think that makes it. It's Tommy Lippert, ball boy extraordinaire. These are Doll's little ones. Tom G. He made a heck of a goalie save to grab it up here. It took a hop.
Terrible. It's so slow. I should have just,
Yeah.
even a 52-year-old should have hit that pitch. But we scored a run, so whatever. Very slow. Very meaty. I took the first strike, and then the second one I also took. It was right there. It is, I think it's 3-2. Yeah. No, that's okay. This game doesn't mean that much for either team, so we'll see how competitive it is. Yeah. No, it's going to be fun because guys can relax, right? Like, we don't care that much. I mean, we care. We always care, but I was talking to the first baseman, and he echoed a lot of what we were saying in the car, that they recognize that there's 4 pretty evenly matched teams at the top, and that it doesn't really matter what seed you finish at. So his attitude at least was pretty relaxed. He said they played this morning, faced Tulsa, and Tulsa had the best lefty they've seen in the tournament. Now, I take that to mean they haven't seen Matt Meyer. It's also a little concerning that in the game that doesn't mean anything to Tulsa, that they would bring out a guy who apparently can really bring it. I mean, why not save that guy? Well, there's a reason. Either they're just flush with pitching, or that guy has to leave. He's leaving on a jet plane early. Oh, that's frustrating. Failing is more upsetting than succeeding is uplifting. I wish it were the other way around, but it never is. Oh, we got it in. Okay, let's move on. Back to the stream. We have the Man Mountain up there in the box again. I think he's their 3-hitter. I'd expect a big swing here. Got the big load. Right on time with that pitch, but it bounced. Got to score 3-2. We're in the top of the third, I believe. Top of the third. 3-2. Good spot by Mark. Mark settling in a little bit. Overheard Dolly saying that strike 3 call was not a strike. Couldn't tell from first base, but Mike's got a pretty discerning eye. Pat held that ball for a second. I think he wanted that call. Turned on that one. Hit very foul. So we did spend some time in the hot tub last night. The first night we've been able to do that. Did some fishing this morning. Ball 4. Caught the biggest bluegill I've ever caught in my life. If you're a fisherman and you go into the sporting goods places and you see those fish mounted on the wall, every once in a while you just see a bluegill that looks like a frisbee. I caught a bluegill like that this morning. After I threw it back, I realized I should have done like a 2-minute live stream clip and just maybe describe the catch and shown it from all angles, but I was in the water before I thought to do that. Dan Smolik saw it. He was impressed. If you impress Dan with a fish, you're doing pretty well. Man on first base. Bandits up 3-2, top of the third. Nobody out. Hard ground ball. That's a fair ball. That was fair. Big man wheeling around second base. Chugging in like one of those old-fashioned locomotives. He's rounding third, heading home. There's a play at, could have been either base. That ball ended up about equidistant from third and home. But Casey may have overshot the cut. Both runners are safe. Run scoring triple. That ball was hit sharply, as Bert Blyleven would say. I need to come up with a different adjective. I guess that would be an adverb. Ball was smashed. Another good-looking hitter right here. Takes it on the shoulder. He was the starting pitcher. Takes his base because he has no choice. Now he's got to make the long walk back because he's a non-runner. Suggesting the futility of life in a sense. Why can't he just walk back to the dugout and signal the guy to go out there? No, he's got to go all the way down to first base, only to turn around and walk all the way back. First and third, 1 out, nobody out. Bandits now up 4-2. I mentioned before, handed the phone off to Casey, the Grays have a big game today. I suspect they need to win it to get into the playoffs. I think their record now is 2-2-1. It's a ground ball. But a lot of years that the Lumberjacks were down here, we'd be going into that 6th game like with a 3-2 record or a 2-3 record, and needing the win, and sometimes needing 1 or 2 things to go our way. Not sure where the Grays sit, but I suspect at minimum they're going to need a win. We'll have to play it. First and third, nobody out. On the top of the third, Bandits are up 4-2. The Bruins are down here too. The Bruins are an offshoot of the Cannons, Federal League team. I think they're struggling a little bit. Last I checked, they were 0-3. I'm not sure what they did yesterday. It's been remarked upon, if you took the best players from the 4 Minnesota teams that are down here, it would be a bloodbath. That team would absolutely roll through, certainly through the Cactus, although I think, we were talking last night, we do think there's teams in the Cactus that are as good as some of the teams we've seen here. But that joint team would roll through this level. Not enough roster spots for something like that. Good news is that all the teams are friendly. I think we root for each other when we're not playing. I don't think there's that much schadenfreude when, I'm sure there's some. I suspect there's some, I'm certain there's some players around who would enjoy seeing the Mammoth lose because we have been pretty successful. Nobody likes the Yankees, right? Really?
You know why I'm coming over smiling?
What?
What do you think about some innings on the mound?
I think they destroy me. I mean, that's not false modesty.
Strikes?
I don't know. I mean, I could throw and see. My shoulder's not the greatest. I can try, but I would have a contingency plan. If my shoulder's okay, I should be able to throw strikes, but these guys can hit. As long as you're okay with
Yeah, as long
maybe
as
an
it's
ugly
strikes.
score.
No, as long as it strikes, I think we're fine.
How soon would I be going in?
I don't know if you'd want to warm up next. And even if it's for an inning, then we can, in between, get guys loose. It's just the guys who are, a one inning
Okay.
fix here, there, there.
Okay. Let me throw because I'm honestly not sure where my arm is.
Oh, you have to pull it. Oh, boy, Mark.
When do you guys want to man this for a little bit? Do you mind? You got to throw to somebody though.
And I think the people want to see your bullpen, not the game. Hey, how are you?
Took me forever to get here.
No.
So how are we doing?
Bob Costas now. We're down like 5-2 or something. What is it? 6-2? Pat? 6-2?
Yeah. 6-1.
Lost it. Apparently foul. I don't.
That just popped fly. He just missed his
Yeah. Should have that one.
son guy.
We're having problems with fly balls today.
Huh?
Having problems with fly balls.
A high sky.
Mark's battling. I don't know how much Tom has talked about it, but he's got some leg issues. Gritting it out there. Ooh, he wants a curveball. Oh, almost. The mayor hustling his butt off, like always. Oh, no, we have 2.
Okay. Right. 6-2. No outs.
Oh, we got nobody out right now.
Not a 1.
There it is. Oh, look good from here. 3 feet inside. But. Maybe getting out here. Good pitch. Hit it pretty deep. Cesar is on it. Oh, Cesar's with a nice catch. Tries to throw the guy out at first. Great range by Cesar. They did score very easily. We got first out and a guy on first, or 1 out and a guy on first. So 7-2 bad guys. This guy hit the ball pretty well last game against them. I think he's their 7-hitter, something like that. And their 1-2-3 can rake. And then he's really the only guy in the after that I am concerned with. Lots of line drives.
Did you show Tommy the aircraft graveyard?
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Yeah. Hoping he hits one of those line drives to one-hop Dahl and we can roll a pair. Ooh. Need that one. I don't know how Tom holds this thing up as long as he does. Good work, Pat. Attaboy, Pat. Way to move. What he lacks in hair, he makes up for in grit and determination. Pat Hanlon, the backstop. Oh, good pitch.
this team's record.
Curveball? Curveball. Oh, nice hitting. Weighted back, pushed it into right. Good hitter. I think he has much power, but he hits line drives. What?
No, we're giving him
Give him one more. I mean, what are we risking? He's throwing strikes.
Right.
Like we should have, what, 3 outs right now?
I don't know. I only saw the one that the fly ball that fell.
I mean, that wasn't like a particularly nuked. Okay, maybe it would. Eat it, Pat. Okay, you were right. Yeah. Yeah, I guess next guy that gets on, he's done probably. There we go. Way to battle back, Mark. A few more of those. Still have 1 out. Runners on second and third. Ooh, just missed low. 2-1 is the count, I believe. The umpire confirms it. Throw strike. Oh! He, umpire does not have a big zone. He seems to be not willing to call above the belt, which is kind of a struggle. Alright. And that'll be the day for Mark. Gritty effort with a bum knee, or hamstring, I think. And now, somebody play Welcome to the Jungle. Do 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 do. The man, the myth, the legend, Tom Gingrich, taking the mound for his 2022 World Series debut. High leverage spot. He's got the bases juiced and 1 out. I'm not in the business of making predictions.
Do you like have a big
That's what I'm hearing.
like a tall one?
But he's 100% going to get this guy to hit into a 5-4-3 double play.
It's on top like
Nah, I'm gonna go 5-5-3. 5-3 double play. He's gonna hit third base. Smolik, patented low throw.
Someone warm me up.
To Starkey. You can use mine. It's my bag's right here. Matt's willing to catch Dan Cazaza's bullpen, which is a questionable decision. All right, ready to play again.
Here, Tommy G.
Let's go, Tom. Good foul, good foul, good foul. There you go.
Attaboy, way to get up.
Working ahead there, 20. Bring it in. So I've noticed the umpires here have very different strategies on like foul balls and if they want to throw balls in and whatnot. And I think it's a regional thing. Oh, do it. I called this. I called it. Yes! Yes! Somebody in the chat. So proud of myself. I
heard I'm not one for predictions, but
I said a 5-3 double play. Are you gonna keep going? 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Well, the first one that was an EV about 98, but yeah, we got the out.
Was it a strike or a hit? Yeah, I think it was a strike. I gotta go hit. Lip cast off. Tom cast back up.
Thanks.
That seemed like it kind of seemed like an italicized. I'm going there again. I'll stay here, Romo. Whether you were going to pitch or not.
That was my response, an italicized no, yes.
And that's,
yes.
I think that's what we saw.
A no in italics.
Italicized no.
Yeah.
Here,
was
this
more
is
like
what
a-
we want to see right here.
Yeah, no.
Tell us about it. How's your arm feel? You threw 2
Yeah,
pitches,
a little fatigued.
both strikes.
Fatigued.
Yeah, let's see that arm.
You know, Billy.
I know.
I mean, should we tell the Billy story? Billy hit
No.
2 home runs against me in a game, and then he pulled a hammer. He would have had 3. Do you remember that?
I do.
2 home
One of them
runs.
was a grand slam.
Yeah.
The one and only grand slam I've ever hit in my career.
I've been involved
Over the fence.
Involved in a lot of big home runs, but I'm the pitcher in this. You know, so-
Well, the Palm Springs incident happened just this year. But you're good so far. You got 2 pitches, 2 strikes, and you look good.
Yeah, well,
Just pound the zone.
That's all,
That's
that's
good.
all I can do.
That's all you got to do.
My only chance.
Give us just keep Grill and Stark and Dahl and our real pitchers off the mound, right? That's great.
he's 2 pitches, 2 outs.
I know. That's what we're
Not
saying.
even-
No.
You didn't include him in the real pitcher.
I objected. You just said real pitchers.
Right.
It's a real pitcher. It's a magic show.
Oh no, that
what
was a
just happened out
conversation
there?
between
You just
Tom and
came in
I. I
and
pitched
you
like
said
7
double
innings
play.
yesterday or whatever. I don't know how many, but
Yeah.
I'm not a real pitcher.
Don't ever say that about Tom again.
That's true.
You can say it as much as
You
you want,
probably
Billy.
beat me up, Billy. but
I wouldn't beat you up. You're the mayor. You could put me in some halfway house in
I've had your
Hopkins.
permits.
Good job though. All right, I'm gonna give this back to you. Or are you gonna take it out to the mound?
Wouldn't that be something?
It'd be
I
cool
would
if you
I
give your
could.
GoPro still on your head, your head GoPro.
Just hold it with his glove.
Commentary as I'm pitching.
Okay, here comes the the changeup.
Same
Oh
thing
man, he crushed that one.
Same thing I threw last pitch.
Pat, I'm not gonna. I mean, I don't know how much longer we'll be out there, but to send them out there, I'm not gonna throw probably anything but a fastball. You can move around, like
I'll fake like we're throwing something other than.
Yeah,
fastballs.
and I-
hopefully the other team isn't following you on Twitter right now. Just trying to get intel.
Right.
Man, this is good going. It's
But-
like Houston Astros.
But when I
Also,
used
trash cans.
Yeah, what was that? What was that?
when I used to pitch a lot, I could hit the glove pretty. So
Yeah,
I'm not
no, you're
saying
doing great.
different pitches, but you can move the glove, and I'll try to hit the glove.
Oh, okay,
I can
cool.
do
Okay.
spots maybe, and if that doesn't work, then we'll just throw it right down the middle.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Right. Diamond Dan. So I did pitch in Palm Springs for an inning. And what an inning that was. Might have been 2 innings. This guy built like an NFL linebacker. Well, I would say an NFL linebacker who was maybe 5 years out of the league. I mean, he'd gone to seed a little bit, but he had a ball to the right side. It was a ground ball up the middle. Beats up the second baseman. A lot of pace on that ground ball. Diamond Dan makes it to first base. He hit this ball to right field, and it hit the light pole. It actually hit the lights. It was like Roy Hobbs. I've never seen a ball hit that far. This guy was in the left-handed batter's box. He actually took a couple of steps up the right field line to get a better look at the flight of the ball.
Are you good with your set, like in your set position and all that?
I can't do a wind-up, so I just pitch out of the
Oh,
strikes.
right, yeah, okay.
And I know it's very quick. I kind of bounce. I can't hold anybody on.
No, I think it's great.
Yeah, but whatever.
It's gonna
We-
keep things moving, keep the
Right,
ball.
right. We just got to. I mean, if we give up 20, we just got to get through this game. So I have no illusions. I just want to throw strikes.
Well, and I think it's kind of good to get people fielding the ball on a regular basis. Like I think that's gonna be good. So.
And I work very fast, so there's gonna be a lot of action out there. It's Mike Lippert. Lip having a great tournament as usual.
If you work fast, it makes it harder to get steals.
Yeah, you
Makes it
know,
harder to set up.
on this level, the typical amateur hitter's not going to square up a meatball every time.
Yep.
What you have to do is just throw strikes.
Yep.
Now, sometimes they're going to absolutely crush it. You just have to take your
You
medicine.
have to live with that.
Yeah,
you have
right.
to know that's going to happen.
Right. This guy's tricking people.
Go left.
It's a good shot. It's base hit. Line drive single.
Barreled that one up.
He did. Brian Bushman's getting into the game to run.
30 seconds, 35 seconds. And I was a little concerned.
See what Casey's got something going on over here.
Going around the base in that amount of time.
Well, that conversation ended, so we'll get back to the game. Nate Stark, 5-ball left field. That's carrying, but caught. Nice running catch by the left fielder. Diamond Dan scampers to third base.
Go 5.
Yeah, I know he is.
Next too big.
Yeah, I would say that Nate he got more of the ball there. I mentioned, he talked last night, he feels like he's under everything. Saw him pop up the first one, but that time hit more center cut on the baseball. Casey Johnson. I don't think he catches that. He catches that. Casey throws a helmet in frustration, does not do that very often. I should maybe hand this phone off to somebody else because I got a hit and pitch now. Although I don't know how long I'm going to do either. The thing I will say about this pitcher is he is changing speeds, and as somebody who I would say, I mean, this guy's a much better pitcher than I am, but as someone who has to rely on guile and rather than a big arm to fly ball to center, I think I might have to go pitch again. It's caught. All right. To be continued.
Let's go, Tommy.
Are you in here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Get on Dan.
Jax, you got one?
Yep.
Okay.
Really, are you going to take some or are you just want me to sit out there?
Starcast?
We got the start cast going for an inning. That's a better view. We got Nate Jackson over at first, giving me a break. Tommy G on the mound. That's it well. Right to Bill in center.
Boy, Tom.
So I don't know if Tom mentioned this, but I asked him this morning if he wanted to pitch, and he said that'd be an emphatic no, or an italicized no. And then we argued about what an italicized no means. In my opinion, that's leaves it up. It's kind of an ambiguous no, and I think we're seeing that italicized no here answer. Can of corn for Scott, or what I thought. Kind of had to reach for that one. 2 down. Here's the 3-hitter. Slick fielding, shortstop. Okay, that's hit well. Scott back and tracks it down. Good inning for Tom. 1, 2, 3. That's what happens when you throw strikes. Drop that. Hey, looking good, Tom.
I still bet. I don't mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Deal, baby. Way to deal. Is Diamond coming in?
No. Hey, you follow that up with a good at bat here, okay?
Tom G, what do we call this? Tom G commemorative day? Tom G day at the park? Get good here? Well, you're doing better than everybody else.
I know, you don't need me.
Is this yours?
No.
Thomas, Cyrus, Young. No, you better be going back out there, bro.
Casey, what's the score? 7-2?
Yeah, that's right.
7-2, and we're bottom 4?
That sounds right too.
Bottom 4?
Let's see.
It's only the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, bottom 4. Bottom 4.
Bottom 4.
Close the gate.
All right. Scott Siebert digging in. He's had a good tourney. Been hitting the ball really well. Catcher gave us a little wave there. He wasn't able to get out of the way. Hit by pitch. Dan Smolik stepping in. Billy Houseman on deck. Tommy G in the hole. A little high. So we got Scott Sievert on first, nobody out. Bottom 4, 7-2 bad guys. One's down. That's hit well. Right fielder back. I think he's gonna get that. Yeah, he grabs that one. That was hit pretty well, but right at the right fielder. These fields are so big and the grass is really fast that the outfielders generally play a lot deeper than they would in our normal league. That one might have been over the head of a normal right fielder in a normal field back in Minnesota. Bill broke his bat, his last at bat, so he's got a new one. Oh, great hit. Line drive between the third base and shortstop there. Here's Tommy G stepping in for a second at bat. Just foul, maybe 2 feet foul. Yeah, he connected well on that one. Tom is just so short to the ball. Very quick hands. Very strong. Safe at first. Oh.
Come on, Mike. All right, Mike.
Just got on top of that one.
Line drive, ball, line drive, Mike.
All right, 2 down for Mike Dahl. Runners on first and second. Need to get a run in here, dig ourselves out of this 5-run hole.
All right, there you go.
Mike's one of the more patient hitters on the team. Not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
Yeah, right.
Got Cizaz, Diamond Dan on deck. Easy hop for the third baseman for the 3rd out. Quite a few barrels, but nothing to show for it.
Scotty said getting hit by 2 pitches is enough for him.
Enough for him? Yep.
So,
Yeah, we need to rest him, get him ready for tomorrow.
Pat, Cam.
Let's get
Pat.
Cam in the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cam and then Pat and Pat.
Yeah.
So just for those.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, top 5.
Where the parking lot is over there. Yep. Just
7-2
it's on your right.
Yanase Bandits. Just found out how to pronounce that name. We've been butchering that name. It's Yanese Bandits. We thought it was a town or a city, but looking it up Google Maps, we couldn't find anything, and we've been calling it everything under the sun. Yancy, Yanese, but it's Yanase. And it turns out it's a Japanese bat company. So their dugout's full of these Yanase bats that they've been using. All right, their big thumper steps in here, and he thumps it right over Doll's head and short. He's a big dude. He looked him up. He played third base in the Reds organization. He played rookie ball 2006. He made a great play a few innings ago over at third. Got a really bad hop. This guy skies it. Bill's charging, lets it drop in front of him. Couldn't quite get there. It's just a lot of ground to cover out there. Hit very hard, right up the middle. Runner coming home, no throw. Well, we got the ground ball, but it's right up the middle. Ground ball to first. Jax goes to second. Dahl stretches. Oh, they called him safe. I thought he had it there. That's unfortunate. Thought he kept his foot on there when he caught it. All right, we got bases loaded. The Bandits up by 6 now. Tom's doing a good job throwing strikes. getting some ground balls. Nothing to show for it yet, though. That's hit well. That makes it 9-2. Good pitch, Tom. Tom with a curveball. Bounces it. Ground ball. Triple play. Triple play. Unbelievable. Right to Dan at third. He steps on third. Throws to second over to Jackson first. Triple play. Tailor made. Wow. That was pretty. Very clean turn.
I get to see me on the mound to get fucking out. It's like, what the hell? I didn't get up. And then you just, way to fuck. Hey! Good shot. That was a beautiful turn. That was fucking sick, dude. Yeah. You don't see that shit all the time.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Good shot, Tom. Way to deliver the death blow. You started the triple play, Tom. Good job, boys. Good job. Good job. Hey, let's keep it.
Hey, good turn. Good turn.
Well, I didn't do anything.
Oh, is it?
I was just hanging out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Never mind. Tailor made. Right to you.
Couldn't have been much better.
No.
I'm just glad Tom
Wait,
was
is
on
you
the
guys
ball.
up first?
We did it for Tom.
Good for Tom.
Yeah.
Guys, I remember that from memory. I know who's due up from memory. I'll repeat it.
Hey, we're part of history. Why couldn't you have been at first?
Oh, the house. Yeah, the house could have turned it to the play there.
I'll start. You're third.
Yeah, I'm up.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, catcher, pitcher,
Yeah.
third, second, first baseman.
Yeah.
The house of triple.
All right, this is our end. This is it.
All right, Tom. Why don't you relax with some more Tomcast?
Okay, let's do it. Sorry, thanks for doing this.
Yeah. Nice job out there.
Yeah, well, as long as I don't walk people.
Strikes.
Right.
You're getting the ground balls.
Right. Just gotta not walk people. So how about that? Biggest bluegill of my life and part of a triple play. I just needed to do something in that second at bat, but we have to learn to celebrate life successes when we get them. And that was, that was pretty cool. They're hitting the ball hard though. I'm just throwing meatballs. Closing my eyes and hoping they hit it to somebody. Diamond Dan Casaza, kind of falling behind what the score is. I think we're down by quite a bit, maybe 10. I trust that the stream has kept up with it. As a connoisseur of the absurd in baseball, one of the things I like about playing on the Skeeters is that everybody, pretty much without exception, has an eye for the absurd. So when we're playing, there's a We play with a certain level of self-awareness that we're middle-aged men running around in costumes, playing a kid's game, pretending that it matters. So there's a lot of humor. Big swing from Dan.
Oh, good cut.
That's out of Barbaric Yop. I think Walt Whitman would be a fan of Diamond Dan Casazza. Dan contains multitudes. So far this week he's been compared to a silverback gorilla, Carrie Strug. It's up. Brian Bushman. Speaking of Barbaric Yops. Yesterday Bushy was giving Casey Johnson a hard time because Casey had something that was supposed to be worn as a cooling device, but because it was so cold, Casey had converted it to like earmuffs or something. Apparently looked pretty absurd. Bushy told Casey that he looked like a terrorist, to which Casey responded, "Bushy, look at your beard." Bushy says he gets checked every time he goes through the security at the airport. Bushy had a great couple of games to start this tournament. Had 3 hits in the first game, earned him a start in the second game. I think he had a hit in that second game as well. Bushy doesn't get a ton of playing time. We had a practice the Saturday before we came down here, and it's just a bunch of guys hitting. And one by one the guys dropped off, and at the end it was just a handful of us doing some live pitching and live hitting. And I was in the outfield for a while, then I came in. Pretty much everybody came in, and the plan was if you hit the ball, you had to go get it. Again, it was live pitching, so it wasn't all that much action. And I didn't know where Bushy was, so I said, "Where's Bushy?" And somebody pointed to the outfield, and there's Bushy, a lone figure, probably 320 feet away in left field, just standing out there by himself, shaking baseballs for people. And Bushy does things like that without, it's just nothing to him. He's genuinely selfless. I don't know him that well in real life, but I can tell you in the baseball field, he's one of the most selfless guys I've ever played with. Hopefully he gets another chance. Bushy goes down swinging. Here's Nate Stark. Probably heard Matt Grill say last time Nate was batting that he's really close. Nate was talking about how he was getting under everything last night in the hot tub. Let me rephrase that. Nate wasn't getting under everything in the hot tub. Nate's been getting under things on the baseball field, and he pointed that out in the hot tub. And Matt Grill pointed out last at bat that he felt like maybe Nate's finding the center of the baseball. First at bat was a pop-up. Second at bat was a solid fly ball. There's a nicely struck ball to left. It's hooking, tailing rather. That's down. Nate's wheeling for second. Gets in there standing. Attaboy, Nate. We've seen progression with every at bat. Pop up, fly out, and then a double. There were some cages here. I think Nate did get a little work in. Maybe it's made the difference. Brian Bushman back at second base. Number 99 on your scorecard. Most of you don't know Bushy, but hopefully he's somewhere in the teens in your heart. I don't think Bushy's married, so I don't actually know. Number 1 in his Turtles heart. There's a base hit from Case. Mammoth getting the bats going. Bushy holds up at third base. Second hit for Casey today. Casey's going to be happy with that. Claps. This one does. There we had the courtly handoff of the bat. I'm a little surprised we have 17 listeners. This one is such a laugher. You did get to see the first triple play in TCMABL 35-plus franchise history. Lumberjacks never turned one. Oh, Jacks just missed that. Steady Scott, a fly ball to center field. He hit it well, but in this field, that's just a long fly out. Jacks has been having a good tournament, really steady. When he makes out like that. It's well struck out. Really hasn't looked out of sorts at the plate yet. Here's Dan Camerath. Haven't said Dan's name too much this tournament. He's a former Coyote. Lives down here now. We give him a ring every year we come down here. Did it with the Lumberjacks, now with the Mammoth. Dan spends a week with us. Years past, he's had a mixed work in with the play, so Dan is not necessarily here every game. I think he missed the first game this year because he was sick. It was a nice shot down the line, backhanded by the third baseman. Dan really running hard. It's good hustle, but he's thrown out. Okay. See if we can survive another inning.
That's it. That's the stock I know. Good job.
Hey Nate, you want to take this back?
Yeah.
Nice
You
hit.
going out again?
Apparently. I mean, I don't.
Really, I had a good thing going for me.
I'd be happy if you told me I'm not. You want to put somebody else out there?
No. I'm doing great. Hey, another triple play, huh?
Pat's going in for Dan.
Okay.
And then,
This Pat?
yep, Pat in for Dan Smalling. Matt, Mark.
Oh, Matt's going to center. Okay.
Angry works a little bit more.
Yeah, it does.
I did the same thing. I just go.
I think I've just been, just not playing with aggression this week.
It's time. It's a good practice time to figure it out. I'm so angry, especially after. Well, you got to hit. And I'm like, go, get going. And then I walk over there, and I'm just like, I went batting gloveless.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How are your fingers? Normally that
Yeah, they're good.
cracked skin or whatever.
Yeah. They've been pretty good the last month or so.
Yeah.
It looks like they're getting a little goofy, but.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That was pretty cool. Good hit. Fucking swamp.
What did we get there? Just one?
Well, didn't I drive him two? Casazo was on third and you were on second. And then-
Bushy didn't come in on your hit, but he came in on the sac fly. So that
Oh,
would,
he was for you.
yes. So, okay, so we got two there.
Okay.
So it would make 9-4. Does that sound right?
Yeah. I thought it was 5, but that makes sense.
Foul ball. How to play.
So Tom got hit around a little bit last inning, but also had a triple play. That's cool.
Triple play. It was almost the house that we're staying in. Tom G with the pitch. To Dan over at third. Over to Casey. Normally I'd be playing first, but Jackson finished off the triple play. It's about the easiest base you'll ever get there, like an ephus pitch.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Is it Diablo's corner?
I don't know where it is.
Good pitch, Tom.
Bad. Yeah, I'll go over this stuff to you next time.
Tom was
That'd probably be a good thing
pretty
for us.
concerned about his shoulder. I wonder if he was able to loosen it up enough.
Patrick.
We talked with him 2 or 3 times about the possibility of him pitching today, and he said no.
Appreciate it.
And then he said no in italics, which we thought he should have meant no in bold. Because no in italics is kind
No,
of,
Randy can come back.
it could be taken however many different ways.
I was texting the my high school coach, and I played amateur for him for years.
Oh, that might drop. Bushy
And
coming
Bushy.
in.
And I was
Makes the catch.
I figure everybody's losing it out there, and so he goes like this, and I'm like, oh no, he lost it.
and she's
If I try to pan to right, I get this the fence right in the way, so I gotta
Yeah.
mentally exhausting, and that's what his response.
can't really follow the ball here.
Really nice. That's why I always like having you on the team. Like, I didn't care if you were doing good or bad. You showed up every time you said you were going to show up.
There's a double.
Like, oh,
Oh,
Gotta keep that glove down there, buddy. Let's go, Dolly.
just off the end of Mike's glove.
right, coach and teach now.
Tom's getting a lot of ground balls here.
Well, I was gonna say he's pitching pretty well. He's around the zone. He's not right in the center. You know, the guy who flew out to Bushy kind of reached to the outside part of the plate to get it.
Here's the top.
That one might have been right there. I don't know, just based on where Hamlin caught it. Don't know where he's set up, but he could be setting up.
Kind of has a Craig Counsell type batting stance. He just kind of points the bat to the sky there.
He's got a lot of whip in his swing and just lays his balls on the left.
Yeah.
Let's go, Tom.
Got a lot of movement before he kind of loads there, but seems to be working for him. Another double play.
Oh.
Matt Van Overbeek out in center. Didn't quite come up cleanly. Okay, that drove in a run, right? So I think it's 10-4 now. In the, what is it, top five? It's either top 5 or top 6.
6. I know, because Dahl took.
That's going to be a tough one for Bushy.
Dahl took
Drops
the
in
throw
for
down
foul-
in the first.
foul ball.
I took the throw down in the second and third. He took the throw down in the fourth. I took the throw down in the fifth. And they're
It
out
might be
there now.
6.
They're out there in the sixth now.
Yeah, okay. Top 6. That's a gapper.
You guys, one of their ex-pros.
One run is in.
Yeah, man.
I'll take this.
I'll get out of here. I'm ready.
The pop-up. Dahl going back. This is in no man's land. Nobody's taking control. And it falls right in between third, short, and left. I think nobody wanted to miss that ball. And instead they all missed it. So we might see Dan Casaza coming in to pitch here soon. I mean, it's... I don't know how much... Tom's doing us a incredible value here just to kind of eat some innings. He's gotten through, 2 or 3 full innings, 2 1/3, I think. But this might be it here pretty soon. I could probably throw a little too if Casaza can't shut it down.
Come on, Tom. We go.
Let's go, Tom.
Oh boy, way to get ahead.
Kenny, let's see, Mark Hoyland started for us to answer your question of who started, and Tom came in right after that in about the third-ish inning, and after 2 pitches induced a double play. He's induced a triple play and a couple single plays as well. There's one of them right there for you. So Bushy, that's 2 outs this inning for him. Ludi, I don't know if the 15-run rule is in play. I haven't read the rule book. We're not really going to think about that because it's not going to happen anyway. I'll try to find out. You guys have any idea what the score is? Okay. It was 10-4 last time we paid attention. A couple more runs might have come in since then. But they are kind of going station to station, so that's why I say it's probably only 2 runs. They possibly could have gotten a couple more if they were being aggressive about it. Fly ball here to center, playing pretty deep out there, but Matt Van Overbeek comes in and catches the fly ball. So 3 fly ball outs that inning. I wonder if that's what all we'll see from Tom. I mean, we don't want him to have to go and take surgery after the season. Casaz is out there trying to, I think Casaz really wants to pitch. You can see him kind of checking in with him, and got Pat Ralston coming up to bat.
Going in.
Crowd. Love our crowd. Yeah. See, now you're on TV. So this is a nice, sweet bullpen. Catchers have it shaded. When we got here, the catchers were in the shade anyway with this overhang. But what a cool place to warm up. Might warm up just to warm up. This is the Goodyear Stadium, and they got all these cool planes in the outfield. I can't zoom in. I don't know if that's like a plane graveyard or what, but this is the Those were not sound effects. That was speed of my arm coming through my bullpen session. Tom, good job out there. So you induced a double play, a triple play, and 3 single plays in
a lot of hard
consecutive innings. Yeah, but you know, that's better than the alternative.
Which is having a real pitcher burn his arm out. Like, what do I need? I don't need this arm. I do know. I'm happy with that. Casaz is going in there, so
yeah.
That day is done.
The only worry about Casaz is, you know, don't let him go too long.
Casaz has got a real arm. The question is whether he's going to be able to throw strikes.
Right, and I just want him to be able to throw tomorrow when it counts, too. Let's take a peek in the dugout before we go check Ralston. Is that Pat?
Go, Pat!
Here we go.
6.
Get up!
So high and inside for Ralston to start the at bat. I think you just heard him say that's the 6th inning, bottom of 6. I can secure an actual score for you. I know we talked about it possibly being like 12-4 or something like that, but see what I can do about getting that. Thanks, Ludi. That is a graveyard. It's pretty cool, though. it would be kind of, I'm sure they open it up to the public at some point, maybe to walk through. I don't know. If not to the public, then those YouTubers that go and check out like haunted, abandoned mansions. You could probably look it up on YouTube and say Goodyear, Arizona airplane graveyard. Pat drew a walk here in the bottom of the sixth to start. And Bill Hausman, who singled his last at bat, I think it was his last at bat. I know he also broke his bat at one point. I was back here talking about his batting gloves and his bat. And so you do see that he switched to a different bat now. He makes his own bats, bully bats. Flew out to center, right center. And we got one out here in the bottom of the sixth. We'll call it 12-4 for now. Pat Hanlon, sport number 28. I don't know if he does that all year. I feel like he's a different number during the year. Okay, he got way out in front of that. I'd yell some advice, but I'll just let him do his thing. Sometimes when you miss a pitch like that, you know, as a hitter, you just kind of know what you did wrong anyway, so. Let's go, Mike. So Mike was going to try to wear his Cardinals socks, I think, this week, and he got vetoed by, I think it was Jackson and Casaza, who each had one extra sock, a yellow sock and a brown sock, and that's why we're looking at one brown and one yellow sock. And considering how well it's worked for Mike so far, I might try it. Kind of an outside pitch. Setting you up. Remember it. So his last at bat, he almost held his bat that same way on an outside pitch, and then he came inside and got rung up. Now the suggestion would be that the pitcher has that kind of control to throw it back inside, but he went with a curve on the outside again, and this time it was further outside, and Dahl held his swing. So I don't know if Stark mentioned it, but before his last at bat, he came up to me and he's like, "I think I'm gonna get mad." I said, "Yeah, it works sometimes." And so he went up and got mad and hit a double. There's Oscar and Dahl's little one. I haven't met him yet. Anyway, so Stark hit a double, and then I was kind of mad. I decided to get some mad energy myself, and took my batting gloves off, went barehanded, and got a single up the middle that I kind of took a good rip at, so I feel good about that. And today, it's kind of just one of those days where the win won't mean as much as the practice and preparing for playoffs, so gotta stay positive. Ralston still on first. Dolly with a long at bat here. I think he found the center fielder's glove there. Held up there a little longer than I thought at one moment. Hopefully Lip goes and plays second, because I would like another rest. I got my eyes over to see if I see Lippert starting to run out there. Stark's out there. Come on, Lip. All right, Lip's sitting down. I think I gotta go.
You know the score? Doesn't matter.
I'm saying 12-4.
Okay. So we vacate the realm of the absurd as we have a new pitcher on the mound. Best athlete on the team. One of the better arms, at least in terms of arm strength. Diamond Dan Casazza. We spent much of this stream celebrating Diamond Dan. Dan is a character. What we're not clear on is whether Dan's a pitcher. I've never seen Dan pitch. Well, I did see Dan pitch in that practice I was talking about. I faced Dan. I was rung up on a called third strike. This was a catcher who called the strike. A heated argument broke up between Dan and I. I insisted it was a ball. Dan equally adamant that it was a strike. And the next time I faced him in the simulated pitching, I hit a one hopper through the left side. He claims that Matt Grill would have caught the ball. I insisted that Matt Grill had no chance. So I think the question here is whether Dan's going to be able to find the strike zone. As a position player who doesn't pitch a lot, I can tell you it's one thing to throw strikes, on the flat ground in the bullpen, but it's different on the mound. This isn't practice movements for Dan. Notwithstanding his athleticism, he can't even necessarily find his slot because he's never really established a slot. It's a strike, 3-1. These guys, the other team's been good sports. They obviously they're big, but they're not taking the extra base. Laughed with a couple of them after their rockets. Seem like some good dudes. There's a strike. Diamond Dan throwing the chest-high fastball by this hitter. 3-2. Let's see what Dan comes back with. Dan told Pat he's got a fastball changeup. It's way up. It's a tough play. Oh. I think you could see that. Pop-up skied. And Smolik chased, turned around a little bit, laid out, couldn't make the catch in foul territory. So the Mammoth are down big. I think I heard it was maybe the top of the 7th. Certain torpor to this game, I would say. Despite the fact that they're hitting the ball. Dolly going deep? No, that's going to drop. A little trademark flare to the left that fell. They're getting their fair share of those, I would say. Big field, make contact. Middle-aged men running around out here. It's going to happen. You're going to find the holes. So let's see how Diamond Dan works out of the stretch. Let's see if Dan has a move to first. There's a nice shot to right. Nice piece of hitting. Didn't try to do too much with that fastball. Dan lift that up. slash to right field, first and second, nobody out. Having just been out there, I can tell you what my goal was, and I suspect it's Dan's goal as well, is to throw strikes. I mean, I knew I was going to get hit. I wasn't overly concerned with the hits. What I wanted to do was avoid walks, and I managed to do that, so I feel pretty good about that. Dan, so far so good, 2 hitters. So far so good insofar as he ain't walked anybody. And do some weak contact and then some more solid contact.
I tried, man. I tried, man. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Batter, I think, is suggesting that he tried to set up another triple play. I talked to this guy at first base. Really good guy. Oh, this guy's running. Really? What is this? Oh, I'm a little surprised that we're seeing this. A little surprised that he's running, but he is. So, runner on second advances to stolen base, errant throw, scores. Runner on first moves to second. I did hit a guy, that's the other thing. That's the other worry. When you're not accustomed to pitching. Oh, this stream must just be murderous to watch. If you're a Mammoth fan, a lot of sloppy pitching. Oh my God, that ball is crushed. Oh, Scott Sievert out and left. I turned around a little bit. Did kind of a half dive, ball fell. Runner gets to second. I thought off the bat that one had a chance. It was crushed. It's Death Valley out here in these outfields. Tom and Dan telling him how disappointed he was that he didn't hit into the triple play when he had the chance. This was the guy I suggested cuts his own hair. Talked to him at first base, really good guy. I didn't mean that as a slight either about the hair cutting comment. I respect a man who cuts his own hair. One of the most successful men I know cuts his own hair. His hair's fine. Good-natured chap. Good hitter, too. Takes it up and away. I imagine if you have hair like that, you know, it's like a kind of a ponytail. It would be pretty easy to cut your own hair. Ooh, there's a tattooed ball. Deep, 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 deep. Oh. Ground rule double. Sure, you couldn't see that ball on this stream, but that ball looked like it was a home run. Landed, bounded to the top of the fence, kind of skipped off the top of the fence and ended up on the other side. So, a man who's fast becoming a folk hero in my eyes. Let's hit a ground rule double. He just lifted his shirt and slapped his belly. I've never seen that move on or off the baseball field. It wasn't done in a malicious way or a taunting way. It was almost just a man who was so pleased he had to find an unusual way to express his satisfaction and his excitement. So what better way than to lift your shirt up and drum your belly? Definitely my favorite player on the Bandits right now. Our man at second base, number 9. maybe a top 10 favorite player that I've ever seen after that little move. Diamond Dan, let's see if he can induce some slightly softer contact. Dan's doing his job, you know. I think all everybody in this dugout wants, would ask for from Dan is to throw strikes. Everybody knows that Dan's not a pitcher. He's got a good arm, but it takes some work to become a pitcher rather than a thrower. I think what everybody wants in the field is to be able to be on their toes, not see a lot of walks, work fast. Dan's doing all that. So Dan's doing a good job. Dan's doing what the team needs Dan to do. Of course, the other thing is soaking up these innings so that tomorrow our better arms can go out there fresh. Good fastball, turned around, that's gonna drop. Just a lot of outfield out there. Off the end of the bat, not a solid barrel, and fell in front of Scott Sievert out there. We'll say this is a position that the Mammoth are not accustomed to being in. We don't find ourselves in too many meaningless games, and we don't find ourselves on the other end of a drubbing like this. Happy to report that there's no chirping going on. Some equanimity to this drubbing that we're taking. We seem to be accepting it. Nate Jackson going out there to talk. I think there's some talk about maybe pulling Dan. I may have told Pat that if needed I could go back out there. But there's really no point. I'm not going to do anything differently. As long as Dan's throwing strikes, I think you just let Dan, as long as Dan's comfortable being out there, right? I mean, if we start seeing Dan quietly crying, perhaps that'll be the time. Dan wanted the baseball. I came in my last inning out there, and I told him, that's a good pitch. This umpire, I would say there were maybe 2 calls that I thought in a game like this were close enough that the umpire could call a strike. On the other hand, if you're a batter, you know, you want to get your hacks up there. You don't want to expand the zone. So there's 2 sides to it. That's fly ball, left field. A nice sliding catch by Scott Sievert out there. Really nice play by Scott. Was another kind of end of the bat, kind of flying her out to left. That one Scott Sievert got under. It's 1 out. Like I said, these guys, though it's possible, well, the lone exception of that base runner who thought it's a good idea to steal third, these guys are doing what you would ask a team to do in a game like this when you're up like they are, just station to station. If this were a normal tournament game where runs against could matter in the outcome, I don't think you'd see this kind of, let's call it lassitude on their part, but not staying there at third, running at first, advancing to second. In some ways, maybe you do that as a courtesy to the man at the plate. Keep the hitter out of the force at second. Give him a chance to leg out an infield hit. I think that would be the rationale. I think I probably just stay at first base. But the Skeeters get angry with me when I do things like that sometimes, so it's a ball up. I was going to mention in the last stream, I think we're down to a handful of listeners now, but I'll mention it anyway. Team I play with in 35 plus TCMBL are the Skeeters. So pitch off the plate. Dan still hasn't walked anybody, so working deep into this count. Team I play with in 35 plus is the Skeeters, and just about the whole team He's going to pack up and go to the Palm Springs Desert Classic this year. That's in January. Martin Luther King holiday weekend. Ooh, Dan gets a swing. That's strike. Close striker? No. Batter has a smile of mortification on his face. I don't think you smile when you're mortified. I would have to ask our retired creative writing teacher how she would grade that sentence. The batter smiled with mortification. I think she'd probably circle that in red. Say try something else here. I made a Bartleby the Scrivener reference yesterday. Just for our retired creative writing instructor. She reported to her son Nate Stark that she caught it. I knew she would. She's the teacher, and I'd be the student. Nate and I had a dispute this morning about what an italicized word communicates. We were actually talking about me pitching, and I said, no in italics. And I suggested that was me emphasizing, oh, look at Casey basically playing this guy straight up the middle. Oh, Dolly fumbled the throw. Would have been a double play. I don't know why Casey decided to play behind second base, but, well, I suppose because he was anticipating the pull. Let's answer that question. At any rate, possibly because that throw was coming from an angle that Dolly's not accustomed to taking the throw. It's coming from behind, basically from center field. Dolly had a little trouble in the transfer, so we just got to force. 2 outs, first and third. Ton to not too much. Okay, here's a pop-up right up the chute. Let's see if Pat can convert. Nice. Oh. It's a fair ball. Oh, no. Just throw it. Now we return to the absurd. The catcher's cage comes flying. Good work, Dan. Good work. You did your job. You threw strikes, man.
How the fuck did I not strike that guy out of that one? That was right down the dick.
I'm not even going to attempt to describe what happened there. We can send in the clowns on that one. If I put that to music, it would be Sinatra, Send in the Clowns. Maybe the Barbra Streisand version. I prefer the Sinatra version. I said no in italics about the possibility of pitching. And I think Nate suggested, well, why wouldn't it be bolded? And I said, well, I think you would italicize it in that case. Like, if I were to write, I didn't say that. If I just said I didn't say that, if I wanted to communicate and said I didn't say that, I would italicize the that. And I think Nate wanted to see something other than the italics there, something like a bold or a capitalized. I don't think a bold fits. I could see all capitalized that. Why are we talking about this? You see Pat. Pat just had a frustrating inning. He comes back. As if on cue, his wife rolls up with the stroller. Hands the infant child to Pat.
What's the score?
I suppose Pat could react to that one of two ways. He could be, this is what really matters. Or he could be saying FML. I will let you translate. I hope it's evident how fond I am of Pat Hanlon. Well, Casey?
Yeah.
I was mentioning the Mammoth have never been in a game like this.
No, this is not the Mammoth.
I do think these guys are being really. I mean, that one guy stole that base, which is kind of silly, but at least they're doing their end, right? They're not taking extra bases.
Yeah.
good sports about all this. Diamond Dan did his job, right?
Third strikes for the most part.
2 strikes. That's what you asked for. We got Mark Hoyland. Probably, I'm going to try to turn this so we can see Mark. Mark started the game on the mound. Mark dealing with a hamstring. Won a couple of innings. I'd say he was the most successful of the Mammoth pitchers so far today. Getting that bat.
Starting you guys off full speed or just anything?
He does mix it up, but
Everything's really slow. So,
Yeah.
I don't get in front of it, and then even then, make sure that you're still don't have a long swing. A strong swing. Let that do the job. We're just gonna outside curveball, curve that drops to the outside of the plate.
oh,
Straight.
Bean.
But slow.
I think that was a curveball that got away from him. Mark now dealing with the hamstring and now a little bruise on his shoulder. What are we thinking, Case?
Should we stop and eat on the way home? I'd like
Well-
to go to like a sports bar or something and get a beer and a sandwich. But I know you guys probably want to get back and go fishing. or
No, I
something.
think we're gonna be past the fishing hour. I mean, this game's gonna be done when the sun's setting, so that'd be fine with me. We'll talk to the guys, see what they think. Take it off stream so the autograph hounds don't meet us at the restaurant.
Right. So I think it's the catcher I was talking to when he was on second, and he said, "This guy's all pull, that big guy."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "So you could probably play straight up the middle." And I was like, "Yeah,
Yes, ask you
I've
about
I've seen this guy." So I went and basically played on Dolly's side of the second base, and he hit it right at me.
Yeah, no, he hit it, and I'm like, oh, there's a hit. And then I look up, and there you are. I speculated that Dolly's just not used to taking the throw from that angle.
Yeah.
Because, right?
Yeah. And when it rains, it pours.
Right.
So pretty much everything that can go wrong right now is probably going wrong. I mean, I went down to a knee and opened up a scab that I got from stealing a base a couple days ago. So even getting the out came at a cost of smashing my knee into my scab into the dirt.
Now you're going to bleed out into the hot tub. It's okay. All right, here's Diamond Dan. Is Dan going back out there? Are we in the ninth?
I have no idea. Zero clue. I mean, this is just not the type of game that you want to go out and stand on second base or stand at second base and wait for 25 minutes to maybe get a ball hit to you.
Yeah.
You know where we play tomorrow?
I don't know. I don't know where and I don't know when.
I assume 9 or 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I think someone was talking about it being an early game, like a 9:30.
After this performance, I'm not sure why.
Oh yeah, I'm right here.
Pat comes back with the baby.
No? Hanging out.
Here, give me hands.
I mentioned Pat.
Hands.
That last out, Pat throws his headgear a little bit. He's just frustrated.
Down.
Steps out, and there his wife rolls up with the stroller and his kid, and then I look over and Pat's walking away with the kid. So he went from like catching and then he's frustrated. It's his turn to carry the baby around.
Now, maybe that brings him joy, but
Exactly.
it might bring you like more misery.
I did say, you can go one of two ways, I suppose, with your reaction. Like, this is what really matters, or
I could probably do it.
Nobody there!
nobody there.
Well, that looks like us.
Nobody there. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Somehow the first baseman wasn't able to field that. I'm not sure why, but the second baseman was on his hands and knees. I don't know how fast he could push. He didn't rather field our sequence there. Brian Bushman. Pay attention to this at bat. Bushy deserves our undivided attention. Hands tight. A little bat waggle. A little butt waggle. Lowe's got a head leg kick. Sawed off at. Oh, there's an overthrow at first base. I would say, if you want to think in terms of a spectrum of artistry, and on one end you've got a Monet, a Rembrandt, a Henry James, and on the other end you have a deaf trombonist, a colorblind painter of sunsets, a foodie who lacks a sense of smell. I would say that this game belongs in that latter category if we're talking about artistry. There's a line drive every at bat from Nate's Gotten Better, caught out in right field. A wonderful catch by the right fielder. Diamond Dan smartly just tags rather than breaking for home. Able to get us another run, make the score look a little bit better. Not the most artistic. They're going to check the bag at third. Home plate umpire signals safe. The field umpire seemingly can't be bothered. Did not make eye contact with the third baseman, who was attempting to get his attention. There's a ball to Casey. Let's see if Casey can find his focus. The other thing about what's going on here is there's just a lack of concentration. Sounds like we got teams assembling behind us. They're in our division. They too will be playing an equally meaningless, at least one game today, possibly two for some of them. I mean, one good thing for us is we just have one game, so this will quickly be forgotten. Hopefully the boys don't get too carried away with the beer tonight. There's a pick throw. Good arm by the third baseman. He sling it over there. Gets Casey by a step. Casey won't be happy with that. There are no throwaway at-bats on the amateur level. We're having a good time. I've mentioned this before. I think the professional level of baseball is better in every respect, but for maybe we're done. I think we're looking at the time. Oh, he just wonders how many runs we have. I'm afraid anyone who's on the stream, you're gonna have to hang on a little while longer. If you're hoping to hang on to the bitter end, a little bit more bitterness yet. I was saying I think the professional level, everything is better. And the baseball's better, accommodations, groupies. Obviously you're paid, the fame. But I think the one way that amateur baseball is better is the relationships. You know, on the professional level, maybe you play on the same team in the same organization your entire career, but even if you do, there's a revolving door around you. You know, maybe you have one teammate, maybe two teammates that you play for an extended period of time, but it's very, very rare to see two players play a good chunk of their career together, like Robin Yount and Paul Molitor, for instance. So I don't doubt that there's an intensity relationship on the professional level because you're spending 162 games in the summer and, you know, winning a championship obviously on that level means much more than this level. But on these teams down here, you know, you can play with the same guys for 15, 20 years. And because you have a life outside of baseball, you kind of experience the stages of life's way with your teammates. When I started playing with the Skeeters, a lot of the guys were single, the ball off the plate. Mammoth way down. This must be near the 9th inning. A lot of them weren't married, or they just got married, no kids. Now most of them have kids, various ages. Some of these kids have gotten bigger than players I'm playing with. And I think there's if we don't have that, maybe the intensity of relationship, I like to think we have a depth of relationship with our teammates that maybe professional athletes don't experience. And that's what makes a game like today tolerable for me anyway, because yeah, we're losing. There's a shot to left. Yeah, you know, you go 0 for 2 at the plate, give up some big hits. Maybe the experience on the field isn't exactly what you would want, but I still get to hang out with these guys. And, you know, all of our interactions are framed or inside of this context, this history that goes back, in some cases, 10, 15, 20 years. I suppose it's a long way of saying it's all good. It's no place I'd rather be. Billy Houseman on the mound. There's a ball. Billy pitched yesterday, pitched very well. Looks like the Diamond Dan experiment lasted 1 inning. This may be more about just getting Billy a little work. It also may be Nate and Grilly hoping that maybe Billy, who I think, well, I know it's a better pitcher than either Dan or I, can maybe just put a merciful end to this game. There's a walk. We must be getting close to time. I hear I think the Tulsa team in Lakeville, Tulsa team, yeah, I think I saw a Lakeville guy. I think those guys are playing next. Played Tulsa yesterday. Good dudes.
And a few outliers that we've always played with, Colorado.
Here's the guy who stole when they were way up. So the only kind of questionable decision from a sportsmanship perspective. Lines it to left. Station to station. Guys stop in at second. And on second base, you got to score, though. Well, I suppose you don't have to score. They choose to score. It's a well-struck baseball. The guy deserves the RBI. I keep wanting to say the scoring of the inning. I should find out if there literally are people there who are stubbornly holding on to the end of this game. I'll walk over in a second and see where we're at. Lip, do you know where we're at? Nate, where are we in the game? Like, what inning score? Not the score, but what inning?
They're up like 12, maybe.
Okay. Are we in the 8th or 9th? 8th? Are we out? 18-6? Are we out of time yet?
There's about 20 minutes left.
Holy shit. I'm sorry. Holy cow. Okay, you got 8th inning, 20 more minutes of this. To find something to talk about for 20 minutes. Where's Diamond Dan?
You got big shoes to fill.
This guy's a good dude, good hitter too. All right, let's see if we can turn this. Oh my God. There's a ground ball to short. Taylor made double play. I don't know what happened. Well, I know what happened. The ball ended up in right field. I don't know how it happened.
I live in Oklahoma City.
Okay. Okay.
That might make it 19-6. There were a couple of games down here with the Lumberjacks where we got pasted like this. Again, this is different. We are just going through the motions, trying to get to tomorrow. It'll be interesting if we play these guys tomorrow because they're going to see a different team. I mean, they know that. We beat them our first time. I hope there's not a hangover from this game tomorrow, though. Find a way to kind of find our focus again. Here's my favorite player in the Pirates. Another shot down the line. Let's see if he gives his belly a slap again if he gets on base. If you missed it, he hit a double. He really got into it. And then on second base, he lifted his shirt and he just drummed his belly. It's just like an uninhibited expression of joy. Strikes out there. There will be no belly thumping now. Walks back. Leans on his bat like it's a cane. Suddenly feeling old.
It's the same no matter where you're at. Yeah. Kind of have that understanding. So I'd say it's quite a brotherhood.
Big cut. Foul back, 1 out. Or 1 strike. Maybe 1 out. Mammoth did have a triple play this game. 5-4-3. We should, you know what? Well, they won't do it. I saw this morning on Twitter that the Grays had a MSBL, that's the organization that runs this, play of the day yesterday. They tweeted out video from, was it shot foul left? You can pay to have an announcer, a real announcer, do these games, and Dan Skog, I think it was, at shortstop for the Grays, made a really good play, and the announcer in his announcer voice talked about what a great play it was, and then they cut that out and they made that the play of the day for this tournament. If we had an announcer here, like if we had paid for the announcer, we would have been the play of the day, I think, that triple play. It's a fly ball to right field. I think that's going to drop. No. Oh, Brian Bushman risked his eyeballs for that one. I could tell he was fighting the sun the whole way. He got under it, but he's trying to shield the sun with his eyes. Bush is an underrated right fielder. Maybe I'm the only one who underrates him. It's really, really steady out there. So this might be the last inning, last at bat. We'll stick around a little bit, although we're gonna have to vacate the dugout quickly. If we're lucky, we'll get another Diamond Dan sighting. See Pat Ralston swinging the bat. Here's Nate Jackson stepping out. Not a lot of giddy up in the step of these fielders. I see 5 different uniforms out here right now. I guess 4. I see 6 people in 4 different uniforms. They're going to be an interesting opponent. They can hit. We haven't chewed up their pitching very much today. They started with Guy, and then this guy's come in, and he's been throwing strikes. He's doing what we tried to do, what we have been doing. We just haven't hit the ball as well as they have. What day is it today? Is it Friday? Friday night back home. Imagine it's the end of the workday for some people. If you've been watching all week, thank you. It's been fun. Yeah, I think I was mentioning Palm Springs. Martin Luther King weekend, 35 plus Skeeters are going to go down playing the Palm Springs Desert Classic, which is in Palm Springs, California, and I hope to stream that. Now I don't know how that's going to work because that's a tournament where I'm going to play a lot, I hope. It's going to basically be just the Skeeters. It's probably the first, maybe in the early days of the TC Mabel, I think John Garbox and his Giants came to this tournament. It was primarily Giants, but this is going to be almost exclusively Skeeters traveling to a national tournament. So I think we're going to get beat, but we have some really good players. We're not going to have Matt Grail, that's going to hurt, but we will have Tom Corcoran, Casey Johnson, who you're familiar with. But I hope to stream it because it's a ground ball left side, scooped up by the shortstop. There's a strike to first. It's one out. I hope to stream it because I think some people who have watched over the past couple of years have maybe seen some of the Skeeters. Certainly Rob Jones, maybe a little Bob Gordon. But if you enjoy this stream, I would say if you enjoy the, I don't know. There's Dan Cameron again. Dan hit a hard ball down the third base line that was gloved by the third baseman. Stole a double from him. I would say if you kind of enjoy the tone of the style of streaming, I think you'd really enjoy watching the Skeeters when we're playing in Palm Springs because that team is full of guys who kind of communicate with the tone that it's brought to this stream. So, no, don't make that play. Oh, that's foul. No, it's a fair ball. He's going to beat it, but I hope Dan's happy with that. I mean, it's a base hit. It's a little pop fly that ticked the glove of the first baseman as he kind of made a sliding dive for it. Rolled foul, but it was fair. Anyway, I bring it up because I'm never active. I mean, I don't do anything on social media, so I don't know how we're going to get this out there. I'm not sure how much the league is going to promote it, but if you enjoy the streams and you're listening, just kind of keep in mind that Martin Luther King weekend, there may be some streams coming out of Palm Springs. See some familiar faces, some familiar voices. Pat Ralston. I was going to say Pat Hammond. Pat's been with the Mammoth since the inception. Pat hits lefties very well. I know he likes hitting lefties. He's facing a righty now. A couple years ago, I think Pat led the Federal League in doubles. There's a nice shot to center field. Going to be caught. Good hit, Pat. It's Billy Houseman. This may be it. Maybe not. We may have to pitch. We're bottom, aren't we? We may have to pitch a ninth. We have to do one more of these. Maybe we should talk about the bluegill again.
They got back. You need Billy to get you some more lumber.
Trophy bluegill caught off of a dock in Arizona this morning.
And the person behind him.
Like a frisbee. If I was in charge of the Mammoth account, I might post the picture for any fishermen out there, but just going to let the viewer imagine what a trophy bluegill swimming the waters of Arizona might look like. Pitcher thought disaster was imminent. Threw a Zeppelin at home. curveball that didn't break. Billy was able to get out of the way. Comes back with a heater. I think that was just. I think that curveball behind him discombobulated Billy a little bit. Is that it?
Got two?
Is that it?
Casey.
No, we got one more, guys. One more.
I want to go to three?
I feel like time is dilated.
Casey, you're short again.
As slow as this game feels, apparently we are approaching the speed of light. Time is slowing down. Dan Smolik running out there. The fisherman of the house. Dan brings all of his gear. He brings me an extra rod. I describe myself as an advanced intermediate fisherman. Dan is an advanced fisherman. But I was the one who caught the bluegill. Wouldn't call myself a bluegill aficionado, but it's just dangling a little minnow off the dock. We had been out in the morning fishing for bass, caught a couple. Something kept attacking this little minnow I had on this jig. I assumed it was just a normal bluegill, and then it surfaced. I had it on for a little bit, and it was so big I thought it must be a tilapia, which I've never caught, but I know are swimming around. Finally got him hooked, pulled him up, and I swallowed the yip of a small dog. And then I actually ran up to the house. Dan was in the living room. I said, Dan, you got to come see this. Ran back like a young child. Dan following me like a patient father. I was going to pick that up. I wasn't going to leave that there.
I didn't know it was yours.
No. There's a plastic bottle at my feet. Mike Dahl's mother came over and picked it up. I felt a deep shame. I explained to her that I was going to pick it up. So Dan and I celebrated that bluegill catch. We took a picture of it next to a Mendota Springs can of water just for the scale. And then we returned it. Caught another day. Bill Houseman back on the mound. Mammoth getting demolished. It's been a vivisection of the Mammoth today. We've seen parts of the Mammoth you've never seen before. High fastball. I mean, God bless this umpire for keeping the zone true, but good grief, man. 3 balls, no strikes. We'll be back tomorrow for the playoffs. I doubt, well, I can say with the near certainty that I won't be playing tomorrow, so we'll get an uninterrupted commentary. Although I do think it's fun to have other people step in. Start repeating myself. Casey especially, I think, is knowledgeable enough about the game that probably brings an interesting perspective. The other thing I'll say about this streaming is it's a big cut by the batter. Winces of an old man. One thing I'll say about these streams, you know, I do a lot of speculation about what's going on in the field, and then sometimes take the phone into the dugout, which I should do. I haven't done that in a while. Or I'll talk to the guys off stream, and I'll realize that I was just wrong with what I was saying. So, yes.
A little controversy I want to talk to you about, by the way.
Yeah. Can we do it on stream?
Yeah, it probably should be on stream.
Okay, good.
Assuming one of those 8 is my mother. She's not a big fan of you calling me Grilly instead of Maddie anymore.
Oh, really?
So I didn't want to be the one to tell you that Terry Grill wasn't happy with you. But
Does nobody call you Grilly? I thought people call
a lot of
you
people
Grilly.
do.
She likes Maddie better.
Yeah.
All right. Duly noted, Terry Grill. Duly noted, Terry Grilly.
Saying shit.
How you guys doing?
Hey Ryan. We're getting absolutely demolished.
Really?
Yes.
That's not normal.
Well, this game doesn't mean anything to us. We're in the playoffs, so
Have you guys lost any?
yeah, we're 2 and 2. We're 3 and 2.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean these teams are good.
Is this division a lot harder?
Well, I think there's teams in the Cactus who are as good as the teams we've played. Like over the years, there's a Long Island team we played last year that could have hung with these guys.
Yeah, we just played them this morning.
They're pretty good, right? Are they good this year?
We actually beat them pretty bad.
Okay.
We finally played our best pitcher, our best everyone, and we looked really good.
What did you guys finish?
We're still going now. We got a game canceled, so we only get 5 in.
Oh, really? They're not going to replay it?
No, we're not. It really sucks for us.
So what do you
It's a
guys
stadium
want?
game.
1 and 3? I got to talk to Maddie here for a second. Yeah, so what's up?
Oh, no, that was the controversy.
Oh, okay.
Terry Grill's not super happy.
Okay, all right. I don't know how I'm going to remember this. It's got to be Maddie and not Grilly. Maddie. Maddie. My humble apologies, Terry Grill. I know what that's like. Like sometimes people want to call me Thomas. I'm like, who's Thomas? Big swing by number 51. So you guys are 1 and 3?
1, 3 and 0.
1, 3 and 0. Okay, so
1 and 3.
so probably not a chance to get
If
in.
we win, we're in.
Oh, you really?
Yeah. Well, because there's like 2 other teams that got canceled.
Okay. Did you guys play a good team?
We played the Long Island this morning. No, now we're playing a bad team.
Oh, who are you playing here?
Yeah.
Are you playing after us?
Oh, other field.
Okay. Maybe we'll swing
It'd be
by.
really good if we played our best guys. It'd be really good. Most of our team plays town ball.
You're on stream here.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not bad. Our team is good, but it'd be really good if we played everyone.
Well, I mean,
Talking about the Grays.
well, I mean, yeah, right. I mean, as you know, I mean, you came down with the Lumberjacks. Like, how big is your roster?
Good. They did a good job.
Yeah. That's the trick, right? Trying to get everybody in.
Yeah, it's
Foul ball.
but we had our best 10 out there today. Brandon was good.
Well, I mean, that's impressive because that Long Island team, we beat them in the playoffs last year, and I thought they were the best team we faced. If it's the same team, it might not be the same team.
Yeah, it was. I think it was the same guys from last year.
What's their record?
2 and 3 and 1.
2, 3, 1. Okay. Did the Grays win?
I think they won 1 yesterday.
Yeah, they were playing the Bombers today. They were playing the same time. They might be finishing up right now.
I think they're in the playoffs too. It really sucks for us to lose the game because it was we lost 2. It was a doubleheader. All of them got canceled. Did you guys play today?
Yeah, we got all 6 in, but yeah, I mean, we had the same weather you guys did. But there were teams in this division that got postponed, but they're going to make them up. Let's play Lip.
Way to go, Lip.
That was a nice scoop by Lip at second base. I know we're losing the thread of the game here. Fielder's choice there, man on third. Mammoth are getting stampeded.
Don't wear the same jerseys.
I think you're supposed to, but this must be some kind of all-star team.
Well, good luck.
Hey, thanks, Ryan. Good luck to you guys. Good luck in the playoffs. That was Ryan Polhonka. I think it's a Minneapolis Bruins. I don't know what they go by. They're one of the teams I mentioned is down here, along with the Grays and Lakeville. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. Kind of lost track of the game. There's a high fastball. So we don't like Grilly. I hear guys using Grilly all the time, but I'm gonna. I mean, I think the mother always probably knows best when it comes to what name her son should be called. Solid shot foul. We were talking about something and now I forgot what it was. So it's taking a big swing. That's going to scoot through. They did that to me a couple times. off the bat, it's a ground ball. You think yes. Turn around, you see it just scooting through, and you think no.
Like, of course they have their just minor.
Meyer pitched to AAA?
Bill Hausman, soldiering on. Throws a fastball that's fouled off. Chill is starting to descend as the lights come on down here in Phoenix.
How much of the joke right away? Before you gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you go. Now you go.
Hard ground ball foul. Yesterday was something else. Somebody told me, Dan told me, Casaza, that it was hard hearing yesterday because of the wind.
Tommy's unbeatable like that.
I don't have any fancy muffling system on the microphone. I can't imagine what that experience was like listening through that wind. Oh, God, there's a little... That was a line drive that Casey, when I say he couldn't see it, I mean he literally couldn't see it. The sun is so bad right now. Landed maybe 10 feet to his right. Had his glove over his face. He couldn't see the ball. So yesterday the wind was so bad. And then at the very end of the game, when we were actually trying to scrap together one run, the worst of it blew in. I did feel like the CNN weather correspondent who's standing out in the middle of a hurricane. As a viewer, you always think, look at that idiot.
I want the game to end.
I discovered what it felt like to be the idiot, standing in that squall. Fouled off of his, because this is a PG stream, we're going to say thigh, upper thigh. Batter stands there, pretends nothing happened. Now he breathes deeply. Man, these guys have gotten a lot of at-bats. I bet they're up to 8 at-bats each. But we survived that weather yesterday. A lot of teams, apparently you heard Ryan Pohanka say they got their doubleheader canceled. They're in the lower division. It's a ground ball to Lip flips to Casey, and that's the end of that. So we won't have to watch that again. Unless we have a comeback. Should be something. Let's walk through.
Hey, Mike had a ball hit to him on the ground. All right.
Yeah, that one, it had so much.
Hey,
Welcome.
way to be a trooper,
the worst
man.
game in Mammoth history.
Well, there's never been a game like this in our
We're gonna
history.
end it right here.
Yeah, we're gonna walk off. We're gonna walk it off.
Yeah, I'm starting it out too.
Pat Hamlin calling the walk off in advance.
Honestly, because I know you couldn't see it.
All right, guys, let's walk it off, guys. Come on.
Let's walk it off.
Let's do it.
Let's go back around and around and around. Let's back around and around.
I stole that from Pat Hamlin.
I couldn't see the ball.
Probably I wouldn't have stolen it if it was anybody else. If I did steal it, I would have told the guys. Pat Hamlin said that, but because it was Pat, I'm just going to own it. There you can see the sun. That's what Casey is looking at. I had to remind Pat this morning that the sun is actually a ball of fire. Pointed out how warmer today, but then it was a direct sundown here.
I had no idea.
Which I said, the sun is a ball of fire, Pat. I don't even think it's a ball of fire. I wonder if we have any retired astronomy teachers in the stream. It's actually a ball of gas, right?
So his reaction time is like carried out to you too. And we're all like, yeah, and if we do this, then he's like, everyone on the
Somebody else wanted it?
Is that the worst sun you've ever second base?
I couldn't see it. I knew,
I know.
I saw it come off the bat and that it was gonna be to me in this way, but I just at some point I was like, I literally am looking right into the sun because it's not high in the sky.
It's right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
It's just like I had already have like purple dots in my eyes from previous foul balls that you're just watching. This one I'm just like, I could maybe
Maybe.
and then find it.
Maybe the gummies from last night too, the purple dots in the eyes?
No, that does.
No. Okay.
I have really good news.
I hope Casey's wife isn't listening. We're not a bunch of potheads in the house, to be clear. Probably an unfortunate aside there. Let's return to the topic of Pat Hanlon. Pat loads, fires the bat through the zone. It's a grounder to the shortstop. Shortstop converts for the first out. To Tommy Lippert, the bat boy for us down here. Still skipping his step. Oh, never mind. I just said I'm tired and it's not worth it. When the 10-year-old bat boy is giving up on you, you've truly plumbed a new depth. Here's Mike Dahl. He's had a little bit of choppiness in the field, I think. He probably heard the roar of frustration from Mike as he was trotting to first. Kind of a rough game for Mike. He's been exceptional this tournament, though. Thought he'll come back tomorrow strong. Here's captain of the team down here, Matt Grill. Pitcher's done a really nice job, number 5. Closest comp I can come up to is Bartolo Colon. And he's just soaked up these innings for them. Would have been nice actually to put a little more stress on them. There's a ground ball right side. This should be the game. We'll stick around a little bit. If you're still here, God bless you. We'll claim whatever valor is due in the handshake line.
Let's shake them up. More baseball?
Well, that sucked, but we both got to pitch. That was fun.
We did, right? We saw triple play.
We saw triple play. We saw some. The triple play was super cool, actually. That was great.
I was just talking to my buddy yesterday. I've never seen one live in person in my whole baseball career, and then literally it happened.
Hey, way to hit the ball, guys. Way to hit the ball. Way to hit the ball. Way to hit the ball. Way to hit the ball today, buddy. Nice game. Nice game. Nice game. Way to hit the ball. Good game, guys. Good game. Way to hit the ball today. Good game.
Good job, guys.
Way to pitch today. Good work.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Mammoth.
Nobody down, boys. Nobody down.
Mammoth.
Here we go.
Mammoth.
Bushy!
Yeah, let's go. We got games tomorrow.
Little Lip.
Stop!
A little bit of portrait of dejection there. A little bit like that Norman Rockwell dugout shot of the Cubs. A lot of long faces. So, We lost. We lost pretty badly. Let's listen in here. I think we're gonna try to hit the reset button right now.
Come early and come ready, because we got to get ourselves into game mode again. Because that was not a game, right? Get into game mode tomorrow.
And that's okay, because today's game really didn't matter that much. But tomorrow we got to bring it. Tomorrow we got to bring it.
So it's been a long one, something of a silly one, I think, from the streaming perspective. So, absurdity on both sides of the camera. Maybe. So thank you for listening. We will be back tomorrow. We'll get the whole game in. Hopefully, we'll have two more. And let's hope for a better outcome tomorrow. At least a better game. So, signing off from Goodyear Field in Arizona. Thanks again for sitting through that. I really appreciate it. We will talk to everybody tomorrow.